joining Luke and Chelsea back on Iron and Out of Kinks podcast. Wild intro that time. I don't think people understand how hard it is to introduce things, to just start speaking out of nowhere.
I see the nerves build up in you as your shoulders go up before you go, welcome back, guys.
Right. It's so fucking alien. It's so weird. People don't get it. People don't appreciate how hard we work on this.
No.
Welcome back to Iron Out the Kinks. Why did I go back to the intro?
I don't know. Just say hello and get on with it.
Okay, hello. I'm getting on with it. So Luke and Chelsea talking about all things kinky, sexy, and fun to do with those kind of topics. If you listen to us or watch us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. If you don't and you have a YouTube, just fucking subscribe. Help us out, innit?
Pause it. Head on over now. Iron Out the Kinks podcast or IOTK pod. Just throw us a subscribe. Stroke. Throw us a subscribe. And once we've got a decent amount of subscribers, I'll stop begging you at the beginning of every episode.
Exactly. And then you won't have to fast forward. So fucking do it, innit? And also it helps us out. It helps us out massively. We'll do all the other plugging at the end.
Yeah.
You know? You good today?
I'm good. Why? What's up?
No, I'm just checking.
Are you good today?
Yeah, I'm feeling all right. Got a bit of a headache.
As per.
I want to chuck out a quick plug.
Go for it.
To my boy.
Go on.
So I've started doing a new program. So if I sound lethargic, it's because I'm tired as fuck. Fitness program.
Got ya.
Check out Bulldog Conditioning. Look on Instagram, Bulldog Conditioning. My boy Sammy. He's just ruining my life. One workout at a time, and it's great.
Yeah. I get to see you when you come home and you can't move and you're bright pink and sweating, but you're too tired to get in the shower, so you just sit there like, I'm wet.
Just make me happier. But you know, I'm just gonna give him a plug because I think he deserves it. He's working hard, and he's helping me out massively. So yeah, Bulldog Conditioning, check him out. Right, on to the episode. Top 100 kinks. Oh, I thought we were doing that together.
We
I thought
shared
we were
that.
so in sync then. I'm so alone.
First one. This is on you, so you need to teach me something here. Interrogation,
right. So I wanted to talk about this because I think it's fucking sexy. So this is like a kink of, I tell you what, we kind of had it before in that last episode where the spin the wheel. It's kind of similar.
Yeah.
Okay. This relies heavily on you as a couple or the people involved being able and comfortable to get into role play. The idea is it's a classic sub-dom type thing where the sub's got some information that's been given to them at some point. So imagine if it was you and me and we were going to do it tonight, I was like, tonight I'm going to fucking interrogate you. We're going to get really like snaggy. And you're like, cool. I then give you a bit of paper that says like some ambiguous bit of information, or maybe I just don't tell you anything and you can't answer, you know? Then it would come down to like a real sort of stereotypical type hardcore interrogation where I would tie you up and then I'd start to like introduce a bit of physical punishment and then a little bit more sexual punishment. And all the time I'm like, tell me what it is. Tell me what you know. And you either don't know if you're somebody who's really weak and would just give it up, or you would like be like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. It's such like almost like a hidden power for the sub where they're like, I can end this when I want. It's like having a safe word. I can end this when I want, but I don't want to.
Okay.
And then it goes into like, it gets more and more sexual. So it might start with a bit of flogging or a bit of whipping, and then maybe a bit of choking, nipples, put on nipple clamps. Then like nice, you can really switch it up and you can be like, no, like just tell me what it is. Just tell me what you know, and like do real tender sort of stroking, blindfold them, get back into that sensory deprivation space and be like, it's okay, like you're okay now. And then crack straight across the ass with a whip, you know? And it's just like a torture type kink.
So it sounds like a leg off of what we spoke about the other week, CNC.
Kind of. CNC is a little bit different.
If you're interrogating me and you're tying me up, chances are I haven't asked you to do that.
It's something. It's like something you would talk about.
Okay.
And you'd be like, I really want you to like, or I might say to you like, I really want to torture you. I really want to like push you, and work all the way through from physical to sexual punishments. And I just want to control you completely until you give me the information. and see how much you can take. You might be like, I want to see how much I can take.
Okay.
It's not quite CNC-ish, but it's very almost stereotypically BDSM dom sub type thing.
Yeah.
But with like an added twist of role play put into it.
Okay.
Like there is a goal. And like for me, again, it would be like tying your legs to a chair and then just putting a vibrator on your clit and just making you come over and over and over again. And then as I'm getting more and more sort of, I don't want to say aggressive because that's probably the wrong word, but as I'm getting more and more like heightened because you're not giving me the information, then I might like force you to suck my dick. Then I might like slap you a bit.
Right.
Then I might put you over the bed and just bring the cane into it and then be like, okay, lay on your back now, spread your legs, tie your hands and your feet together and whip your pussy. Like it gets more and more, and then I might fuck you. I'm
looking at it from a different point of view. It's like the almost like the bratty submissive, because it's like, I'm not giving you what you want. You can punish me all you want. Yeah. I'm not going to give you what you want.
Yeah, exactly. But sometimes you might not have been told. It might just be a pure power play.
Yeah.
There's such like this is why I wanted to do it, because I think it's really interesting. And again, it's something. As long as you've got the confidence to do role play, and trust me, role play, it's like doing an intro. It's awkward for about half a second.
Yeah, it's daunting and scary before you do it.
As soon as you say something and then your partner says something and then you say something, it's done.
Yeah.
You're both into it. And it's sexy now. It's done.
I'm just thinking, like someone who's really like shit at accents.
Yeah.
This is like way off tangent, but you're trying to like be a bit stupid by doing something in an accent, and if people look at you and then say back in their English accent like, okay, what is that? You now feel like a fool. But if that person then went to like mimic your stupid accent back and reply to you in that, you're like, cool, I'm comfortable, I can do this now.
I legit had no idea where you were going.
Do you know what I'm saying?
That. It is like amateur acting.
Yeah.
It is like that. Like you can walk out on stage and be like, okay, I'm being a 4-year-old Cockney chimney sweep, and you do something and you think, fucking hell, if people just look at me like I'm weird, I feel so awkward.
Yeah.
And then somebody will buy into it, like improv. People will buy into it, and then it's like this big thing. It's so much fun. And you just have to have the confidence. But the interrogation side of it is what's pertinent in this one, because it's the idea of you are a sub, you are completely at my will, and I'm gonna be physical with you. But you, like that bratty side, like you say, you've got the ability to stop it. You've got what I want and you won't give it to me.
Yeah.
And it's like a silent brattiness. And that's like, for me, I find that like quite a turn on.
Okay.
And I'm like, I want to do that. And it's the idea of being able to just creatively punish you and make it sexual.
Yeah.
Make it like that thing where.
Like a mixture.
Yeah. And put you in positions that you might not normally be in and make you do things that you wouldn't necessarily normally do. And just really like mix it up fully on my commands, because you're my prisoner. I want you to tell me what you know. So you're my prisoner. So you're just going to do anything. It's not like that general, right, darling, I'm going to tie you up now. Okay, right, you're a whore, aren't you? Yeah, I am. Whip, that's great. That's kind of stuff we do. I feel like just that little bit of role play, being like, just tell me what you know and I'll make this stop. It'll be okay. No, wallop or nipple clamps on or slap or whatever it is, and you've got no idea what's coming and how I'm going to mix it up. So yeah, I'm like into it. I'm getting into it now.
I know you are. I can see.
My cheeks are flushed.
Cool. That sounds like an interesting one.
Yeah. So to get into that again, I think there's a lot of trust involved in that. You need to make sure that you sort of really communicate all boundaries and everything that you need your partner to understand, and that goes both ways. You need to make sure that you're both sort of clued up on it and how you want it to be, because it's really important. It's really important to understand your boundaries. But I think that one's a sick one. I think that's something a lot of people could start integrating if you've got into like the sort of mild BDSM space and with a classic sub dom. I think you could really change an angle by putting that into it. I do personally. By the way, we're trying this. So yeah.
Cool. I like it.
Okay, what's next?
So the next one is it's a little 2-in-1.
Ooh,
so
normally pay extra for that.
Yeah, you do. The first part is vicophilia, and the second part is audio erotica.
Vicophilia.
So
Vicar of
vicophilia.
Dibley.
So when I first saw this, I was like, nun kink. No, it's not.
Sorry, I was drinking something and I couldn't laugh properly. A nun kink. I can see that.
Yeah, but no, it's not. It's really not. It's nothing to do with vicars or nuns. It is the act of getting turned on by hearing other people's stories. So when we're talking about stuff on this pod, and if somebody's getting a little bit turned on by some of the stuff we're talking about or any stories that we're going over, that's someone who's probably got a little bit of vicophilia, just getting aroused by other people's sexual expeditions.
That's cool. And we know that happens.
Yeah, it happens.
You know? I know somebody years ago who used to get turned on by hearing their partner's previous sex stories.
Eesh.
Is that the same?
Yeah, it is. I guess there's boundaries to what some people might like.
Yeah.
I personally would genuinely rather chop the ends of my fingers off than listen to about any of your past experiences. But
we're creating a safe and open environment here where we can tell stories, darling.
Yeah, but that's my personal preference. Somebody might really, really enjoy that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just if you're just enjoying hearing somebody else's sexual experiences.
And it has to be like somebody else's.
Yes.
And you obviously has to be hearing it.
Yeah. Yeah, well
but no,
done.
but like you would see it and be like, oh, like I like watching homemade porn.
Yeah.
Like, I like seeing like real people fuck, you know, not porn stars.
Mm-hmm.
But this is specifically like hearing it. Exactly what this podcast is about, basically.
Yeah, this is hearing a story and getting a little bit turned on by it. Like if someone, I don't know, I'm just thinking if a girl's like had really like sexy night with a guy and she's gone and told all her girl mates about it, telling them everything, telling them the size of his dick, telling them he did this and then he made me come here, and one of her girlfriends are sitting there going, oh, this is turning me on a little bit. That's a little bit of vicophilia.
I think a lot of people would get turned on by that.
I think, well, certain friends of mine, if they were telling me a sexy story, my legs would close up. So that's not entirely true, but
whoever you are, because you probably listen to us, I want you to think, your friends with Chelsea, I want you to think, shit, is it me? Is it me?
To be fair, I think it's most of them.
Wow, you're just baiting your friends out as well now. You throw me under the bus and now you're friends.
I know.
You're going to have no one left to turn to soon.
I have my cats.
Yeah, they're dickheads.
But yeah, so we've paired that with audio erotica because I know, especially around lockdown period, sexy audios boomed.
Yeah.
They really, really went up, and I see a lot of it now of erotica audio artists writing books and people getting turned on by it. There's TikTok trends of people's reactions to certain sex scenes in books, and I think it's something that's definitely on the rise.
I think the way that we're kind of working now, especially like you say during lockdown and stuff, I think people are always going to try and find that next thing to turn them on.
Yeah.
And it's almost, they almost don't do it on purpose. They're almost not like, right, what's next to turn me on? I need the next thing. I feel like we as a society will just continuously fall. And it's weird how we kind of go full circle. You know, you go back to like our grandparents' age. Grandma might have had like a Mills and Boon book, which would be extremely erotic. I just find that quite interesting.
Yeah.
And the way, like now with audiobooks, the way that they're blowing up, where you've got like Spotify now do audiobooks and stuff on there, which is the main reason I got Spotify, was to listen to books when I was away with work.
Okay.
Because I would be working, but I like to listen to stuff. Instead, got into podcasts.
And then started making one.
And now I don't really listen to music unless I'm training.
Yeah.
All I do is listen to podcasts. I think I'm the number one listener for a certain podcast in America because I listen to it all the time. I used to listen to it to sleep.
Yeah, I
every
remember.
night. And it's, I think I was either that or the top 0.01%.
Yeah, I remember because you showed me the stats on it.
I was so proud. I'm not going to say what podcast it was because it's, yeah, people will damn me.
Yeah, audio erotica.
Yeah, I think most people would listen to things.
For like me, if I'm not attaching that voice to a person and they're telling me about this really, really sensual scene that they've had and his dick was engorged and my pussy was dripping, stop freaking out at what I'm saying.
The word engorged is just fucking
is just
gross.
The words they use.
Don't take up erotic writing. Fucking hell.
I think like that would turn a lot of people on just hearing it because you can picture it. It's your imagination then, isn't it?
And that's where we've kind of gone full circle.
Mm.
I remember somebody years ago, a friend of mine, and she said she always reads 50 Shades of Grey before bed. I know. And I was like, how come? She said, what did she used to say? It makes my twat throb. I know. And I nearly threw up in my mouth and was like, you can't say that. That's disgusting. You're like quite a decent person. No, she's from the south. Yeah. And I was like, okay. And she went, yeah. So I just like it before bed because it gives me sexy dreams.
Fair. Do you know what? There was a book that I used to read that I used...
Fucking like Goosebumps or something, knowing you.
So it was The Twits. No, I'm joking. This was actually when we first started speaking like 6 years ago. And I mentioned this book to you and you was like, oh, fucking typical, you're reading that. It was about I think it was either like a Navy SEAL or a US Marine who would go back to this like little country town in America and used to fuck this girl senseless, and she was completely in love with him, and then he'd go back on tour or something, then he'd come back and like she was just so in love with him, and it was sexy, and it was just this little American like heartthrob. And
was it graphic?
No, not too much. Like it wasn't a sex book, but it had a lot of sex in it.
Sounds like a Mills and Boon book.
Well, I used to very much enjoy reading that.
Oh, brilliant. So I think that's probably one that a lot of people, if you're not into it now, I would say if you're like interested in something, give it a listen. There's a podcast out there. I don't want to give them free props, but My Dad Wrote a Porno.
Oh yeah.
And that's funny. It was funny for a while and then it got a bit samey, but that's the kind of thing that is out there.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't greatly written erotica, but
no, but all you have to do is just like Google or check on, especially TikToks. It's huge on TikTok, like erotica, and then loads of shit will come up.
Yeah. And it can give you just another perspective of something you might be interested in.
Yeah.
If you're interested in interrogation porn, maybe there's a book out there for you. But no, I think there's so much out there. And there's so much ability for people to look into this.
Maybe, could it be a thing that couples could listen to together?
Fuck yeah, of course it could.
Laying in bed. Oh, you could lay in bed.
Yeah.
Not touching each other and not touching ourselves.
Ooh.
But listening to these really sexy scenes, using our imaginations in the dark. And then you can start touching yourself and slowly building yourself up. And then you just fuck.
You just fuck.
Oh.
That would be like heavenly. There's one stumbling block that I can see, but that is a really, really good thing. And that is that you would fall asleep.
Oh, I probably would.
100%.
You read to me, I'm dead.
You're the laziest person. All right, you're not lazy. You're just very snoozy.
Thank you.
Sorry. Anyway, we're not having domestics because I have to edit out the domestics. But no, I think that's a good thing. Listen to it together. And again, we have a lot of people saying with our sort of naughty corner stuff, people come in and say, oh, I like this, but my partner doesn't quite understand. Find a book on it. Listen to it together. And again, I say to you, like, I want to go down on you whilst you're watching porn. If you were reading a book or listening to an erotic novel and it was like filthy and you were like, this really, really makes me wet, I'm going to be like, well, listen, I'm going to go find out for myself. You just keep listening or you keep reading.
Yeah.
You know, that's the kind of thing. I love that. I love the idea of you concentrating on something else that's making you turned on whilst I, turn you on.
There's so many scenarios now I'm thinking that this could work in. So like obviously another one if, you're downstairs or upstairs on your console or your computer. I'm just trying to think of a device that you'd be on.
Yeah.
And I'm like laying on the bed or laying on the sofa, listening to this book, getting really turned on. I'm not watching porn. I'm listening to this, getting really turned on, and then coming running to you and be like, I want you, get in the bedroom now. Yeah.
Do me now.
Or another really good one, a long journey, driving.
Oh, that would be
listening to it in the car because I would be like, please pull over and please let me suck your dick.
Yeah, that would be, imagine doing it. Imagine if before we were married, it was like, what, a 3-hour drive?
Or on the way to each other. Oh yeah. I feel like we need to...
That's some real loose tracky
I feel like we need to like give at least one of these scenarios a go.
I think we should. I'm down.
Yeah.
We've got some long driving coming up. We're going up north next month.
We can do it.
We can do it then. We're also, I'm not going to say anymore. I was going to talk about the Patreon.
No.
We'll talk about that another day.
But
Okay, so
I think we covered that.
you're wrapped up on that?
I sure am.
So those were one from me and one from you, basically, in that scenario,
Yeah.
which is good. Look at us.
Look at
Fucking
us.
Teamwork.
Teamwork. Dream work. Get out of my head.
Stop it. Okay, move on.
Right, slippery when wet.
Slippery when wet.
Yeah.
What was naughty corner first?
Apparently I've put it in the wrong order today, so that's how we're going.
All right, slippery when wet,
Which is fantasies and confessions.
confession booth. I think we're going to change it to confession booth.
But people also said that's their fancy, so
Yeah,
we'll
we
keep
can
it
still
as
send
both.
us fancies because I enjoy it.
I guess. Right. Really quick one.
Yeah.
I really want a threesome with my husband and another man or woman. He has had one before we got together. We've been with each other for 14 years and I don't see us splitting up anytime soon. It makes me sad that I might not ever get a chance to have one. Is that bad?
Right,
This isn't even advice corner. This is
isn't
just
slippery when wet. This is naughty corner.
No, it isn't. She sent it in as slippery when wet. I think she's just telling us her fantasy, and we don't need to give advice in this corner. But fuck, if he's done it before, I'm pretty fucking sure he's gonna do it again. Broach it.
1,000,000%. If you want to fuck, like, have a threesome and fuck doing that, do it.
Yeah,
Life is too short. I say this to you all the time. You're so relaxed in life.
I know. I'm like, we've got
You're
all the
so
time in the
like,
world.
yeah, we've got all the time in the world. And I'm like, no, we should do it now. Not just sex. I'm talking about everything.
Yeah.
We're going to do something. I'm like, I want to do it right now. Because next week isn't guaranteed. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. This is a bit morbid, but that's how I function. So I'm like, do it now. Do it now. You never know what's coming. Just fucking do it. Live life now.
Unless he had a terrible experience with that threesome.
What, he just had two blokes just absolutely powerless.
He's going to want to do it again. I would pass. It's not bad that you are worrying that you're never going to get a chance to. Just broach it with him.
Yeah, 100%.
But we're not going to say any more on that.
No, because you said it is slippery when wet.
Because our naughty corner is quite similar, so we can't like go too hard on it.
Oh shit, okay. Well, if you did want answers on that, then listen to this naughty corner.
Yeah. So my husband and I have been together for 17 years and have always had times where sex has been great and times where it's not happening much. He always had a higher sex drive than me. I've had lots of health issues, so it wasn't always able to happen. For the last few months, my sex drive has gone through the roof, and after normal vanilla sex, I wasn't feeling satisfied. I just wanted more. I started watching porn, something I'd never done before. Then figured out I really liked the idea of being a sub, and I was worried to tell him for a while. However, I did, and we are both enjoying exploring the new dom sub dynamics and degradation / power play and impact play. Since being more open to exploring, my husband has mentioned a threesome a few times. I know he would really love to, and I want to please him, but I can't get him being intimate with someone else out of my head. He said we would be like a team. It wouldn't just be about him fucking her. It would be about us doing it together. I just feel like, what if it changes something in a bad way? What if he likes her better? Am I too jealous and self-conscious to do this? Please help. P.S. Love the podcast. Thank you for opening up the conversation. P.P.S. This is not a case of we need to make it more exciting to save the relationship or anything. We have the best relationship no matter what's going on in the bedroom. Although it's been a lot more passionate at the moment, lots more sex talks, we are probably the best we've ever been. I'm curious about the threesome, but I don't know if we can work as a couple. I know that if I feel left out while he was with her, or if I felt like he was enjoying her more than me, or I just didn't quite know what to do at some point, then it could go wrong. I have kissed girls and boobs and stuff, but really can't say I want to lick pussy. Anyway, just think you guys are really cool and wish I could get to the level you guys are. Cool.
Wow, what a sick bit of advice you're looking for.
I know.
Yeah. So, number one, like, I like doing this. I like doing a little number list.
Yeah.
Number one, congratulations and like awesome effort on discovering yourselves further.
Yeah.
And sort of pushing that on further, because
And after 17 years as well. That's
17
great.
years is no joke.
Keep moving.
Exactly. And, you know, we all go through things in life like health issues and things like that. So it's not always going to be, you know, fucking flower fields and what's the saying?
I don't know.
It's not always going to be peachy. You know what I mean? Life's not always going to be peachy. It is going to be tough. So don't don't sort of, and not that you are, but don't be too worried about the fact that it goes up and down. It just goes up and down.
Yeah, the World Low, she said they have a great relationship no matter what, whether it's
That's
sex or
fucking
not.
great.
So they've got something good going on there. Go on, you start with your number one.
That's my number one. That was it. No, I mean, deep dive into it. The main point here is you want to have a threesome. So in recap, he's mentioned a threesome. You've discovered new angles. He's mentioned threesomes. You're not necessarily adverse to it. You're just worried that there's an issue of sort of.
I think she is a bit adverse to it,
self-conscious.
because she said that she just wants to please him, but she doesn't know that whether this is something she wants to do. I would say when it comes to sex, do not do something just to please the other person.
Never.
If you're not cool with it, you're not cool with it, and that's fine. That's your boundary. And I'm pretty sure after 17 years together and good communication, he's going to completely respect that.
Yeah.
And then I will say on the flip side, devil's advocate, when it comes to having a threesome, you're going to have them worries, what ifs. Oh, fuck, what if I don't like it halfway through? Can I just tell him to leave? What if I don't like see him fucking someone else? Can I just like end it right there? And you're never going to get the answers unless you do it in that scenario. So I think it's just something that you need to really have a good think on.
Yeah. And I mean, the idea of what if he likes it more, and I think she said about she doesn't see how you can be a team whilst having sex with a girl. You can definitely be a team whilst having sex with a girl. Again, we say it every fucking week. Communication, understanding each other's boundaries. But if you're worried about that, you're worried about how he's going to react. I can tell you now, you've been together 17 years. You say you've got a great relationship. Sounds like you've got a great relationship. Like I said to you when we've had threesomes, a vagina feels like a vagina.
Yeah.
You wouldn't look at the person and suddenly like the heavens open and like light shines down from God and you're like, oh, well, this is what I've been waiting for. It's what you're doing, which is erotic. Having a threesome as a man is obviously like one of the number one fantasies. Having a threesome with two women is great. Having a threesome with the person you love and watching them experience another woman whilst you do exactly the same and you do it together is genuinely priceless.
Yeah.
I think that I've been around the block and I've done all sorts of angles of this. And I know that when you and I have a threesome, it's better than any experience I've had before without you. So you 100% can tackle it as a team. And 100%, as long as there is that like decent trust in there with you guys, he's not just going to suddenly slide inside another woman and go, oh,
this is what I've been missing.
Yeah. And for me, and again, everyone's different, but as soon as I'm having sex with another woman, I look at you.
Yeah.
I want to see how much you're enjoying what you're seeing, which is you're into that. Don't think this lady is.
No, but I think it's also like a self-discovery fair. She says she's kissed other girls and boobs and stuff. I don't know exactly what that is.
Kissing boobs?
Speaking as a bisexual woman, I've always been attracted to women. I've kissed women, I've dated women, I hadn't slept with women. And although I, was attracted to women, there's always that, well, my girlfriends say that they can also be attracted to women, but they're not bisexual. Like, what if I'm actually not bisexual? What if I do get a vagina in my mouth? And then I'm like, pause, not for me. Fortunately, that's not the case at all, and I love it. But it's scary. You've never done it before. I don't know how old you are, but you're going to be older than 20 years old because you've been together 17 years. And in your lifetime, if you've not done something, the thought of doing it is always going to be scary, regardless of whether you're going to like it or not. So I'm playing devil's advocate here now. Like I said, with you've almost got to do it to see if that's something you do enjoy. With regards to being a team and you not knowing what to do halfway through, like Luke said, it is the communication that you've got to go through. And we spoke about in detail, if I'm doing this, I want you to do this.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't know what to do at first. Luke guided me and he told me what he wanted me to do. Second time I picked it up easy, no problem. But I guess that's a little bit easier for me because I know that I like women and the taste of women. It's a hard one to get around because if you don't know if you're going to like seeing and be intimate with someone else, you shouldn't force yourself in that situation to see whether that's true or not. Feel like you know if you're going to be jealous or not. And that's absolutely fine. Like people are allowed to be 100% jealous watching their partner fuck someone else. I
think there's a couple of ways to skin this.
Go on.
So I think number one, for yourself, for discovering yourself with women, if your husband, I would hope, would be kind of okay with this. If you were to, I don't know, go to like, you guys go out to like a gay bar.
Okay.
And watch, I'm talking, the way the perspective that we talk confuses me. Okay. I'm talking to the lady. So you guys go out to a gay bar and you can kind of flirt with women and see how that feels and, you know, just be around women in a kind of sexual capacity, in a bit of a sexually charged capacity and see how that feels, see if that kind of excites you. And then for me, with you, if you were like, I'm not sure, I would be like, have sex with a woman.
Yeah.
I don't need to be there. I don't need to be involved. I want you to understand yourself. I want you to understand what you like. And you might turn around and go, yep, I went down on her for like 3 seconds. And I promise you, if you explain to a gay woman, oh, I think I'm straight, I might be bisexual. Or a bisexual woman, sorry, yeah. But if you say that to them and say, I just want to experiment, and then after 10 seconds of eating their pussy, you come up and go, you can do it to me now, they're going to get the hint and go, she doesn't like it.
Yeah, okay. and also touching on that, I have a male friend who wanted to see whether he was bi or gay, or even he was just bi in general, and he arranged to go suck a guy's dick. Actually do. But in advance told this guy, I've never done this before, I don't know if I like it. And the guy was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm still off getting my dick sucked. Halfway through, he popped his head up and was like, don't think I like giving, mate. You want to just like go down on me? And he was like, yeah, cool. I think if you're open. Gay women, maybe not so much, because I don't think gay women, like, are definitely, from experience, know that gay women don't like being an experiment for a bisexual woman. They just don't. Yes. Unless they're said very solidly, I'm bisexual, I love pussy. They don't want to be an experiment or a joke for a straight woman who might be bi. Yeah. So I think that's a great idea though. Like, having sex with another woman, seeing if you like it. Yeah. And you'll find sex someone. With a woman,
yeah, you will. And then maybe like in the sort of swinger community where you'll get a lot of bisexual women.
Yeah.
And they're okay to be experimenting with. They're like, yeah, we want people to experiment. You know, that's very much their lifestyle.
Like, I think most women will be more than happy to be on the receiving end of stuff. So I'm sure you would love your pussy to get eaten, regardless of whether it's male or woman, especially if you've got a little bit of a fancy towards women. Mm-hmm. You haven't necessarily got to eat it yourself.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It can be very much, okay, you can fuck her, but she's going to do stuff to me. You know, this is where the teamwork comes in. This is where it becomes a team thing, where it's like, I want this. And he might be like, I want to fuck her whilst she's going down on you.
Yeah.
I want you to like do this. If he's very much like, no, I want you to go down on her, I understand how hot that is to see your wife go down on a woman. It's the fucking hottest. But at the same time, if you turn around and say, it's just not for me, then he's obviously going to understand that. Those are the boundaries that you need to set. It's tough because we're advocates of this kind of thing, but at the same time, you wouldn't ever want somebody who isn't comfortable to go into that space.
Yeah, please do not push yourself because you think this is what he wants. It's not 100% what you want. I understand being a bit nervous and shaky and questioning whether it's for you or not, but if it's definitely not for you, you know you're not going to like seeing him get down with another girl, you know you're not going to like going down on another girl, don't do it.
No.
I would say.
My other workaround was, do you know, like ball masks? Not balls like your balls, but like when people would go to a ball.
Oh, right.
And they have those masks. And you'll see
I was going to a gag ball in mouth. I was like, what?
No. But people will wear those in like certain homemade porn videos because they don't want their identity revealed. You can kind of wear a mask, film your husband having sex with you, or you guys having sex, and then watch it back when you're horny, imagining it's somebody else.
Okay.
And then you can get an idea and you can be like, oh, I really don't like this. Because I don't think sometimes you know if you like something until you do it.
Yeah.
And it's very tough when you're in that room with your partner and they're having sex with somebody. There's a lot of like trust in there, but it really is like a team effort, and it's an experience. That third person is not having the same experience as you guys are.
No.
They're nowhere near the experience. They're there to get fucked.
You mentioning the mask, I'm just thinking right now, everyone we've ever slept with, they're completely faceless to me when we're having sex.
They probably listen to this, babe.
I'm really sorry, guys. But I know, but no, I mean it in a sense of like, I'm not looking at their face when you're fucking them. I'm looking at you fucking them. I'm looking at it going in and out of their pussy or their ass, and I'm watching all of that. I'm not ever watching their face, which is the personal part.
Yeah.
I'm just watching body and
In the
genitals.
Act. It's
yeah.
the act.
Yeah.
It's the act, and it's the taboo act of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Keep us updated on it. I feel like we've kind of flogged that to death. If there's more advice, don't just be like, oh, well, that's all the advice I'm going to get. If there's more angles you want us to cover or something else.
If you want like a more in-depth of exactly step by step how we do it and what we do, if that's going to make it feel any easier for you, just pop us another message and we can come back to you on it.
And we can explain, like the first threesome we had, exactly how it was. She knew exactly what it was going to be like step by step.
Yeah.
You knew exactly what it was going to be like step by step, which is, it sounds not sexy, but it is still sexy.
Oh yeah.
You know, but it was just for her, she was straight, experimenting. It was your first time with a woman. But in that
situation, she didn't go down on me. It was me going down on her, which is obviously something you can do.
Yeah. And that was fine. You know, she did say afterwards that she wanted to go down on you.
Yeah.
Because she then decided she wanted to experiment more. Great. You know, but it is very much, it's your space to command how you want it to be if you were to move into that kind of environment, which we're not saying you have to, but we're also saying that it's not the worst thing. You know, plenty of people move into like swinging and stuff, and that works out well for them. Once you realize that your partner loves you, they love you, they're with you. If he wanted to be with somebody else, he would go and find somebody else. He doesn't. He loves you. 17
years is a long time.
17 years is a fucking long time.
Yeah.
You know, so take that, and it can be really tough to have that kind of self-assurance, but take that as self-assurance.
Last little thing I'd throw in here. See if it's something you'd be interested in, like another male. He hasn't got to get involved with the other guy, but you get fucked from both ends and like see how if you like that.
But my thing was like, I'm not overly keen on watching you get fucked by someone, but you're so down to watch me fuck someone.
I guess.
But you know, that's still a conversation. Maybe.
Yeah. Cool. We happy with that one?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a sip of this drink. You do.
Go on then, big old glugs. Away from the mic. Okay, so this week we got Oops Wrong Hole. We're doing another thread because the threads are getting likes.
The threads are, and they're wild.
They are wild. They're quick fire and they're funny. So we're gonna roll with this week. This week's one is, what was your weirdest boner? Okay, so I'm just gonna roll through them, okay?
Okay.
Unless you want to make a comment on something.
Okay.
Right.
It might jog my memory on what my weirdest boner was.
Then that's fine. If you relay, let us know. Right, what was your weirdest boner? High school weight room, tricep pull downs, and the cable machine. Every time extended down, I'd get a tingle occur at the tip of my penis. By the end of 10 reps, I was half chub. Went away after puberty, but damn, that shit was weird.
You know what? This is jogged memories.
Okay, go for it.
Jogged memories. Oh God, this is embarrassing.
Go on.
Oh, God. Oh, I don't know if I want to say it. It's fucking embarrassing.
Say it. You're here now.
Okay, so when I was a kid, and I mean like young, so probably like 6, 7.
Right.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I didn't obviously understand what was going on. So I remember my brother used to play football at this thing. My brother's older than me. I've got an older brother. Used to play football at this park. And me and my mate used to get conkers from the tree, and there was a playground next to it with like a fireman's pole. Okay. A very small fireman's pole.
Sexy.
Well, I realised as I was like trying to climb up it, I was like, oh, that feels good. And then I just used to hang from it with my legs wrapped around the pole, just being like, oh, this is really nice. And I remember like people looking at me and thinking, they don't know what's going on.
I'm doing.
Because this is like a magic ability I've got and nobody else has. And evidently I then grew up and hit puberty and realised
that's what it was.
They knew. They did. They were like, look at that little fucking pervert rubbing his dick on the fucking fireman's pole. So yeah, fucking hell, that's just completely come back to me.
Well, you might get a few
I've got
memory
another
jogs
one.
here.
I've got another one, but we'll
add
go
it at
into
the
more,
end.
yeah.
Right, what was your weirdest boner? slow dancing with a girl in middle school and having to keep her at arm's length away so I wouldn't poke her.
Been there.
A dream I was having where I was having sex with a girl, but for some reason, halfway through, the random woman changed into my mum. Instantly woke up disturbed, but still had a boner. Was very weird. Did not like it. The image is still disturbing.
Fucking hell.
That's the worst. That's like when like, I don't know, for women, I don't know if men get this, but for women, when you're touching yourself or you're having sex and then a family member pops in your head and you're like, no, gal. No?
You need to tell me about
this
that
doesn't
when
happen
that
to
happens.
me.
Yeah, sure.
I do go into some weird places. Right.
Fucking hell.
What was your weirdest boner? Almost dying in Afghanistan while carrying a patient over my shoulder. Running faster than I ever had before. The worst part was the flap on the lower front of your armour to protect your genitals. When sprinting, without fail, it would sack tap you over and over again. So my most awkward one was running full tilt with 3/4 of a patient on my back.
Oh, shit.
Blast wounds are nasty.
Yeah.
Running full sprint, fully erect, while getting beat in the sack with my own body armour. Needless to say, I was hysterically laughing and tears rolling down my face when I got to the ambulance. The driver thought I'd lost my fucking mind. Maybe I did.
That's pure adrenaline though.
So I've heard of like fear boners as well. There could have been like a fear boner.
Like getting shot at and stuff is probably a bit extreme.
Yeah.
Carrying like someone who's just hit an IED, a bit extreme. And those, the ballistic nappies, they're no fun. They're no fun.
Okay, what was your weirdest boner? In 8th grade science class, they showed us a video of a woman giving birth. So there she is in this crappy VHS quality, legs spread with a big hairy bush and big vagina. Being 12 and seeing vagina gave me an instant boner. It lasted until the baby started popping its head out. It was a weird wank later that day.
Why were they doing that to 12-year-olds?
I know.
That's harrowing.
No.
Imagine being the woman. Well, we're going to film it because we want to show a bunch of preteens. Oh, okay, yeah, sounds. Well, the
Sounds
baby's
good.
not coming yet. Yeah, we're just going to film your vagina for a bit. Okay.
Okay, what was your weirdest boner? Xbox controller has some good vibrations, let me tell ya.
Been there.
Been there.
Been there. Have
I've
you?
been there.
Class.
Yeah.
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 But you have.
First time I crafted and equipped a full Daedric system in Skyrim. That was a little strange.
That's an excitement boner.
Go for it, yeah.
That's an excitement boner.
Getting a manual prostate exam.
What, like from a doc?
I reckon that's more common than people realise.
100%.
I reckon doctors get it all the time and people are embarrassed going, no, I'm so sorry. And the doctor's like, happens
It's
more than you
okay.
realise.
Yeah, it's okay.
Fair. What was your weirdest boner? Anytime I'm cold and comfy. So, like my first day in the office with my new team, we had an all hands meeting in the executive building. The room was 66 degrees and the chairs were leather, upholstered and comfy as shit. So I got a comfort bone. Was great.
Wow. There was so much. You can tell how much like the details are important to them to get the boner.
How comfy he loves
That
to
was
be.
how comfy I was.
That must be really annoying as well.
So mine's kind of similar.
Go on.
So before what I do now, I used to sell cars very
Yeah.
long time ago. As you know, like sort of 15 years ago, I used to sell cars for a reputable brand.
Sorry, that's me giving you footsies
What
under
are
the table.
you doing? I thought I was saying something wrong.
Turning
You're kicking
on.
me.
No, I'm joking.
No, and they, so we used to go out on test drives, and there was like a set route, which gave them a bit of motorway driving, like through the city, take about half an hour. I'd be so bored. And you do, sometimes on like a weekend, you would do like 5 a day.
Okay.
So fucking bored. And I'd sit in the back, because they're often like a couple,
Yeah.
sit in the back, and I would just be thinking. And your brain only goes one way when you're in your early 20s and you're bored. And I'd get a boner and I'd be really comfy and I'd get a boner. And then it was honestly like clockwork. And I spoke to one of the other salesmen about it and I was like, mate, does this happen to you? And he was like, yes, it does.
Okay.
So you'd be pulling back into the garage and they'd be like, oh yeah, okay. yeah, I really enjoyed that. You'd be like, okay, like next step, you normally get them back to the desk, talk to them and see if you can kind of sell them on the car. I'd be like, okay, yeah, if you just want to head on in, I'm just going to move the car back into the space, and I'll be trying to tuck my dick into my waistband in the back seat without them noticing. It happened every time. And then I'd get like fear of it happening, and then I'd be like, oh, better not think about sex. And then I'd be like, sex. Oh, fuck. Yeah, it happened all the time.
I wonder if anyone ever noticed.
I did sometimes wear some ridiculously tight trousers, so maybe.
That doesn't surprise me.
Wow, thanks.
What?
What are you trying to say?
You wear ridiculously tight trousers
now. So what are you trying to say? You're slut shaming me. I am wearing tight trousers right now.
You are. You always are.
Yeah, sorry, but that was my little tangent. Go on.
I like it.
Go on. What else we got?
What was your weirdest boner? Car alarm every time.
Oh, I'm sorry. What? Is that it? Is that all it says?
That's all it says.
I need some fucking clarification on this. What do you mean car alarm?
And he says every time.
Every time what?
Every time he hears a car alarm, he gets a boner. That's all I'm taking from that.
That's what you're taking from it, because he didn't really say that. But why is he getting a boner every time he hears a car alarm?
Again, that must be so annoying.
I don't hear that many car alarms. So if you live in the city, it must be a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
That's mental.
I've got another 2 here, which are literally just short words, so I'm going to fire them both out at the same time. What was your weirdest boner? Cloud boobs.
Next.
Boobs. Dog sat on my lap.
Right, that's fucked up. Cloud boobs, I get. When you're young, everything's a turn on. But a dog sitting on your lap?
No.
I don't know, I guess maybe.
No. Do you ever get a boner with a cat sitting in your lap?
You know I do. No, I don't. No. But again, when you're young, when you're a teenager, you don't understand how easy it is to aggravate him. Like, you just give him a little tap and he's awake. He's like, what? What do we need? What do you need from me? And then you get into your 30s and you're like, come on.
You get.
Come on, boy. Come on. It's this way. Come on. Yeah.
Okay. Got shot in the throat by an airsoft gun. Immediately got hard. Was really concerned and confused.
Fucking should be. Jesus Christ.
He has a pain kink. Leave him alone.
I don't know, man. I respect it. But no, I don't know.
No.
The throat, though, like pain, I can understand it to a point. But the throat, and have you ever been hit with like an air pistol or an air rifle?
No, just BB.
They suck. And it is like, they are BBs, but they're like air powered.
Yeah.
They suck. They really suck.
I think you submitted this one.
Okay, maybe.
Eating a really good pizza, I had to ask myself, do I want to fuck this pizza?
Oh my God, I would fuck a pizza though.
I know.
You get some good pizzas. Oh God. Square pan pizza where we used to live.
Stop it.
Square pan pizza.
I don't rate it.
I spent over £200 a month on square pan when I was single.
It doesn't surprise me.
I regret nothing.
Got thrown really hard by a pretty black belt girl in judo class, and then by this rugged older dude. I'm too embarrassed to go back.
Yeah, no, I don't fuck with that. I get tied up in...
Fair enough, the pretty girl, but the old rugged dude, that's when you're like, I need to leave.
Yeah, fair. I get tied up in jits by girls sometimes because they're fucking, some of them are class. And at no point am I turned on. My shame is through the roof. And even when I beat people, I don't, No, it would take a really weird set of circumstances to get me hard after getting filled in.
Right, last one. What was your weirdest boner? When that face app thing was popular, I took a selfie on it while bored, messed around with the filters and stuff, swapped the gender, and it saw a girl version of myself. I had to rub one out. I appreciate the effort he's put in there.
And the thing is, it kind of makes sense because every time you masturbate, all you're doing is just having sex. You're just giving yourself sex. Yeah. You're just having sex with yourself.
Yeah.
So
it's a sexy lady version.
Yeah, exactly. If he was a chick and he was rubbing one out, seeing himself, like you like mirror stuff.
Yeah.
That's normal. So if he sees the female version of himself, unless he's got a sister who he looks suspiciously like, then that's fucking weird. He's pushed it too far then.
If anyone's listened to this and has that face app and wants to lady pretty fire version of Luke, please send it to me.
We'll just do a little still in the camera right now. There we go.
There we go. Nice.
No, I make a pretty girl. Do you remember when you did my makeup?
Yeah, I do.
Years ago? I've still got the picture.
And put some extensions on you. You're stunning.
Honestly, you're so good at makeup.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're a hag under all that. Right, no, I'm joking. You're the most beautiful woman in the world. We know this. But no, that's all we got for you this week.
That's it.
That's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for obviously people must be talking about us, and there must be word of mouth going around, because obviously we're our views and our listens are going through the roof, which we really appreciate, being so new into this kind of thing. So hopefully we're doing something right and you're enjoying it. But if you wouldn't mind doing us a favor and heading over to our social media pages.
INNL.
I surprised you with that, didn't I? I literally just pointed
I was like kind of
quick.
half yawning and looking my cheek. Ironing out the kinks, all one word. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Yep, and as we said before, YouTube. Head over there, subscribe for us. Whatever audio platform you're listening on, if you could subscribe and rate us, and obviously we would love to get top ratings. But
and big fives.
Big fives. But
Five,
again,
fives.
if you don't think we deserve it, that's fine. We're going to tell you to fucking mind your business and back off.
And
that's fine.
like, don't leave us a review. Please.
But no, we really appreciate you guys. And if you want to submit to us, it is
iotk.fun.
Fun.
Fun.
Yeah.
FUN.
You got any problems? Like we said before, people write in with stuff and you don't realize that you're helping other people. So if you got something that you want to talk about, or if you got a fantasy or a confession or something, you might just give somebody else a confidence boost to do that thing, or let them know that it's not odd or weird. So
yeah, and it can all be anonymous. So
I mean, it kind of is. We don't really read anyone's name out, even when they say don't worry about being anonymous.
No, that's true.
So it's all fucking anonymous.
It's
anyway.
all anonymous. We only ask if you want us to respond back to you via email, and that's where you can give us your deets. But otherwise, just fuck us, innit?
Just what?
Like fuck us. We don't need to know your name.
We're not going to fuck people.
Why?
We're not doing an OnlyFans. We will fuck people, but you need to meet them on Tinder. And women only, I'm afraid. Soz. Right. So, people, stay happy. Keep fucking.
Bye.
Bye.